First of all, welcome to Turkey again. We've missed you a lot and I'm so excited about your gig for tonight. So let's talk about your new album. How was it to work with David Patrick?
Well, he's got really good people skills, and he's a fantastic producer. He really he made you feel special in what you were doing, and yeah, he really knew how to bring out the best in the person, in an artist, and everything. And it was really easy, you know.
And I think a lot of producers, you know, they don't really know how to talk to people very well because they spend a lot of time with computers by themselves, you know. But David was a master psychologist of kind of rock and roll and of a band in a studio, and he has a fantastic pedigree. So it was an absolute joy.
You're using colorful, hopeful, and unconsciously creative for this album. Can you be more specific why you choose these words to define your work?
Well, we didn't really choose them, you know. In fact, you know, if we didn't have to do interviews, then we wouldn't explain anything, you know. I often feel very resentful to have to explain myself because all that I want to say to the world is said in the music itself, you know. But unfortunately, you know, it's a part of what we do, and so you come up with stuff to say, to describe it, even though you don't really want to. But in general, I think that, you know, every time that we make a record, it's a reaction against the previous record, and the previous record tells us what we don't want to do. So I think over time we came to realize that the album before Battle for the Sun was very, very, very dark, and we really kind of wanted to do something that was a bit more hopeful this time.
You use new instruments, trumpets and saxophones for the first time. So where did the idea come from?
Well, you know, we kind of grew up listening to soul music, you know, listening to Otis Redding and Sam Cooke and, you know, the Ike and Tina Turner Review and, you know, all of these fantastic soul bands. And, you know, I think that's what we're in the business of doing. We're in the business of making soul music, you know, whether it's with a drum machine or with a saxophone or with a tabla drum, you know, or it comes from the soul. It is soul. For us, it's just using horns was just a new way of pushing our identity, you know, in different directions, and we have to do something new every time we make a record, you know, otherwise we get really bored.
Light up your eyes for what it's worth. For what it's worth. For what it's worth.
I know that this album is kind of new start, a fresh beginning for you. So, you guys, after all these years, still on top of the world. Why do you need to refresh?
Because if you don't refresh, you know, your screen goes dead. You know, you have to refresh. Otherwise,
you don't refresh, you digress.
Yeah, after a certain amount of time, it just becomes the same thing over and over and over again, you know. And we were stuck in some kind of feedback loop, which wasn't really going very well. And so we needed to break out of that, and we needed to kind of start again. But we're very thankful and grateful for the opportunity to do so, to start again, especially 15 years into our careers, to be able to go back to kind of year zero is really cool.
So what about Steve? What did he add to the band? Except that.
An American accent.
No, I'm not the only one.
A great, oh yeah, shit, yeah.
You too.
Excuse me, young man. And a great deal of naivete, I'd say.
I do say.
Yes, indeed. No, I said Stephen is rather enamoured with the idea of being in Placebo, you see. And Stephen's never really been in a successful band before. And so all of these wonderful experiences that he's going through at the moment are ones that we can remember from day one. And it's just, he's so happy to be here that it kind of makes us happy, you know.
So, for the first time you made the album without any record label. Does it bring you more freedom?
Yes, absolutely. You know, you don't have some coked up A&R guy sniveling on your shoulder while you're making a record, trying to wonder how many singles you're going to make and whether he's going to keep his job. You know, it's just kind of it's just total freedom. So you're able to kind of follow your ambition all the way, you know, and that's what we did on this record.
How does it feel to be here for the 4th time, and what do you think about Istanbul and the audience? And what did you do?
Well, this is Steve's first time, so you should probably we've been here before, but Steve should probably give his reactions on this beautiful city.
Well, when I first arrived, it was brilliant. I really liked how the streets were just alive with, you know, people were out and dancing, having a good time. And then we came here yesterday and did a boat trip all on the river, which is really gorgeous, and it was really trippy, you know, for me, kind of looking to your left and there's Europe, and then look to your right and there's Asia, so last night we kind of went out on the town a little bit, checked out a few different places, and yeah, the people are great, and the sights are great, and I told them when I'm old and retired, no one can find me, you'll find me here.
Hello Turkey, we are Placebo and you are watching Dream TV.